Hello, boys. What's up? NBA Top
What's
Shot,
up?
Collectin and Connectin. What's up, crew?
What's going on?
Episode 17 of Moment by Moment. We're
Are
back.
we recording?
We are live.
This is when you're supposed to stop talking, remember?
Are you sure?
We definitely are. But this is, I got 23 seconds live into episode 17, Moment by Moment. We got the usual fellas right here, Treaticus busting my balls. King Brett over here as always in his usual spot. And then we got a special guest, Thunder Hour. What's up,
Yes,
buddy?
sir.
Glad you're here, man.
Yeah, happy to be here. Let's break down some moments.
Moment by moment.
We are starting a brand new one here with you today. It's going to be fun. We're fast forwarding. We've done Series 2 Cool Cats. We've done Series 2 Hustle and Show, but we're gonna head to Series 4 that we've been so excited about.
Yeah.
We're gonna check out the clamps. I know a lot of us have been into artwork and things what they've been doing with S4, but
Clamp.
I think we're all collectors here of the clamps. Very excited to go through these moments and check them out with Thunder Hour, King Brett, Treaticus, and especially you. Thanks for being here.
You know,
yeah, I think he was talking to me, was he not? No, I'm just kidding.
No,
you're the only one that made sense. No, this clamp set, this is one that I have. I love these moments. Honestly, I love defensive moments on Top Shot. You don't get a ton of them. And when we can kind of have a set that's all about defense, I'm all about it.
Nice.
For sure. We loved breaking down the Hustle and Show in this past set. And it was fun getting to see the tips, that the defense that creates offense, and some hustle plays that get that. And we think that these capture a bigger picture of that defense, like you're saying. It doesn't get highlighted a bunch in the moments. We get a lot of dunks and a lot of three-pointers and assists, but to see big-time shot blockers and multiple block shots and steals and that turn into offense and whatnot, it's going to be a very exciting set to break down.
Yeah, show me your clamp stamp. That's what we want to see.
That's the theme music, right? That's what I remember back on Twitter. You know, that's the theme music.
That's right. The clamp stamp.
We definitely had some fun when those came out, and Treaticus and some people have more fun than others sometimes.
Well, yeah, I heard Brett's ex has a clamp stamp. Randall told me that.
That is a callback to our previous first set when we went to the NLL and the Cool Cats. You might want to check out Torque's episode 7.
Yes, that was a great time, wasn't it?
That's what he said about my ex. That's funny. So on to the first clamp moment.
Clamp it.
Couldn't have introduced it myself better. Let's start with the Orlando Magic and watch a moment together. And
they play defense.
And check this out.
Ooh,
yeah, with a shot, but
get that out. Get that out.
Yeah, this season we definitely talk a lot about the descriptions with the moments and how they've evolved and the extra little tidbits and Easter eggs that it gives you. We've had Austin Kent on in previous episodes, and he talked about how you shouldn't need the description, but it's a nice, complimentary aspect. Thought it was really cool in this one because it tells you that the Magic started 0-5 this season, and this was Game 6. So they've lost 5 straight to start the year, and they came out on fire against the Hornets.
Nice.
Blocking shots, stealing. They were pretty hungry for a win in this one.
Yeah, playing the Hornets, that's an easy way to get your, team going in the right direction, right? I mean, your defense can show out when you're going against, like, old man Gordon Hayward and who else?
Yeah. Kelly Oubre shows up several times in here, getting his shot blocked and turning the ball over. They held the Hornets to 30 in the first half, which is
get out of here
embarrassing in the NBA.
That's crazy. Yeah,
that's a standard first quarter score, and to have that at halftime, they put it on them. as a defensive coach might say, Treaticus.
Yeah, that's right. They put it on, and they had this circled on the calendar. Like, all right, we're gonna win. We're gonna lock this team down and beat their ass.
But I love how this moment shows Paulo Banchero at the beginning running out, but that's all he does in the whole moment. I'm like, I guess defense is not his specialty, right?
Similar, earlier in the week when we had you on the podcast, we talked about the new legendary rookie revelation set and them having the draft footage as part of it. This was the first time that I remember seeing the introductions and warm-ups and pieces where they're in their warm-up still before the game started. I thought that was a really cool aspect added to these moments.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they used a lot of those features and a lot of those, celebrations and just introductions and kind of the unique signature things to these players. Like I know LeBron's got his chalk throw in a moment and like stuff like that where, it just adds a touch to the moments and makes them so much better, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I also really like the introduction of the reels, right? Because there was always single player moments ever since kind of the inception of Top Shot. And, this is one of many in a sport that have some reels where you get to see 3 or 4 players that are all doing good hustles or good finishes or whatever.
Yeah.
I believe the first one was at the start of Series 4, Jared. Sammy D was all hyped up on the team debuts, the dynamic duos, and I think that was the first view that we got of the reels. And then on the defensive side, these came out, and we got to see, to Brett's point, team reels, which is just a really cool aspect that we didn't get to see before Series 4. And to get multiple plays, multiple players, bench reactions, the intro, like it's really, really cool moments.
I think the one thing about the reels is they fit these team moments better than anywhere else in the product. Because, reels is like the whole team's getting involved, right? It's a way to showcase like this is a performance, shutting a team down to 30 points in the first half. I mean, this bowl block that we're seeing, I mean, that's a special moment. And otherwise wouldn't probably be in the product, and it's able to fit here in this clamps moment.
I thought the way they've awarded collectors makes sense too, as far as these coming to you as a collector because of where you are on the leaderboard, right? Because that's really the only clamp stamp I want is my teams. I'm not interested in this set, but I love the fact that because I collect what I love, I'm going to get a little love from Top Shot and get this moment.
This is one of those that I personally got pretty lucky, but King Brett and I, you mentioned the leaderboards. We were really focused on climbing the Mavericks leaderboard, and then we got into, we wanted to be in all 30 team discords. So we started finishing the series team 3 sets and going through there. And each one we got farther, we started climbing up leaderboards. And then, as you mentioned, the rewards came out. And I believe it was the dynamic duos was the first one. And they gave a rare set out to the top 750, I believe, for each team. And that was just such a huge deal of the big airdrops coming through. And it had been happening throughout the product. But for people being on the leaderboards for all the teams and those coming out, it definitely created a FOMO in my collection. So I started growing after that happened, after the dynamic duos in Series 4. And luckily, we didn't know what the cutoff was going to be for these. And for the clamps, it was top 1,500. And I was lucky enough to be on all 30 teams. So I was
out of here
at all 30. Yeah, that's the reason I have the set complete.
You're the man. Well, you guys are freaking whales. They're going to change this to Wells
it's a common
by
set.
moment and treat.
It's a common set. Look, the real reason that 3-Ball and I have half the moments is because he'll buy crap and not tell me, and then I'll find out, and then I got to go get it, or I get stuff, and then he doesn't say anything for like 2 weeks, and I'll look, and he's got like 20 new moments, and they're like, I'm like, where'd you get these? Like we've started hiding moments from each other now.
Oh,
Kind of messed
okay.
up.
But with
I
the
also have
blockchain, you
all
can't.
30
Brett just checking up on me and
all 30 plants due to the same thing.
That's when you know you have a problem, when you're hiding it from each other.
That's right. It's really
You're only as sick as your secrets.
Yeah.
Oh man, getting
I
into
think
some deep stuff.
I think I got 15 or so of these moments in, when they came out through the leaderboards, and then I ended up completing them because I love this set. Like I said, the defensive side of things is unique, and I love like some Thunder players from past, like Andre Robertson. He's a defender. Lou Dort now on the team. Like those are
Lou Dort, yes,
some of my favorite players for the Thunder, and just excited to have moments that celebrate that.
Yeah. I've never thought about trying to complete a set like that.
Well,
I mean, really,
you're the one that taught me, let the pack drops kind of dictate where you go.
Right.
And if you're airdropped half the set like he was, it makes sense to continue the journey. You're already halfway there.
That makes sense.
Halfway there.
I knew it was coming. I could have.
Oh, you set me up, buddy. I
love that. Let's see. I have 2 of these, and I bet you can guess the 2 that I have.
I bet they're undrafted rookies.
The low ask, you can get this whole set for $213.
If you're new here, Treaticus is hard up on the Celtics and the Grizzlies, so he's got
That's
those 2 moments.
That's what I'm talking about.
Under Hour, you got all 30 because you were airdropped half because you were on top 1,500 for half the team, and then you went after him. I remember you talking about it on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those like things where I was kind of like you. I went in on these team leaderboards and we kind of learned more about getting those series bonuses and whatnot. And honestly, I've pivoted away from that strategy now.
I have too.
And like, I think I looked at it the other day. I'm only top 1,500 on 3 teams now, I believe. And I used to be on several, but that's just because I've kind of refocused. Let's go into the Thunder. That's my team, right? I want to, I think I'm 95th on their leaderboard. I want to keep climbing there,
Nice. Yeah.
I'm with you, and I think King Brett, he could probably follow up on this. We definitely felt the same way. We kind of spread out at first, trying to be involved with a lot of teams, meet and greet, and we were connecting with a lot of cool people wanting to be a part of different things that communities were doing. And then you start looking at it, and you really want to collect what you love, collect your team, and especially if there's rewards and things, based on that. So that entices it even more for us to focus in on our squad.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's what I'm doing. By God, that's what I'm doing. But I will say the how does this play in with the team leaderboard or the new way you look up a team and all the green, if you're going to get all your team set.
You're talking about the checklists showing
and all that stuff. Where does that show up on this stuff?
That's a good question. I did notice that they rearranged the homepage and the tabs, and I have noticed that people have had trouble finding certain things that were there, and they're still there in certain places, and you got to go a different way to get there. I have not seen how to find those checklists yet, but
no. So I think just recently, or maybe even today, they added those checklists into those team pages. So
there you go. Ask and you shall receive.
Nice.
If you scroll down just a little bit on the team pages, it says like team checklists.
Yeah.
And then I think it also another category there, but
team on marketplace and team checklist. There we go.
Yeah.
Marketplace disappeared for a few days, and then that came back, which I think is a good thing as well.
Yeah, those team pages, those player pages, they just keep improving, and they make it fun for you to collect, and we talk about, we love to see that green, you love to see those boxes green for your team and your players.
It's addictive.
Well, but even on the sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. Even on like the teams, when you're looking up, leaderboards, one of the first things that pops up, it tells you all the categories, all the rewards, the snapshots when they were taken, the mint counts, the rarities, the parallels, the winners. So it's cool because you can look back and see clamps, snapshot, they've been delivered, 1,500 mint count, they're common. Parallels are 2,500, 250, and they made them for all 30 teams. It has the synopsis of each one right there. It's really cool. Like you said, it just keeps getting better and better.
Love it.
Excellent.
Let's break out another moment, guys.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
God, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, I got the Atlanta Hawks ready for you guys. Let's check it out.
If memory serves me correctly, I remember when I went through and watched all 30 of these moments that the Atlanta one is pretty great. So I think there's some.
Yeah.
It's because the red pops off the screen. It's like they're highlighted or something.
A little chase down.
Places to play in New York, Madison Square Garden. It's got so much history there.
Damn. Yeah, that rivalry kind of got fired up for a second. When 2 years ago?
Yeah, 21 when Trey hit that game winner in New York.
Yeah,
buddy. But that's
we have a lot of connection to. Sorry, we have a lot of connection to Trey just with our Luka connection and them getting traded for each other. That he comes up all the time in Dallas, it was actually a part of us. But I love that they showed him here at the beginning, like Brett already showed with his body language. He likes the high fives and the intros. That's cool stuff. But
dude, it's so cool seeing the players shake hands and all the cool hands. I feel like all of us need cool handshakes like that when we see each other in real life events, and we do the whole jump and I'm all in. I'm in.
I think I saw a video of you three before. You guys got together, and I think 3-Ball and King Brett jumped in from the side or something.
That's something going on. Right. That's our handshake
for that video.
Jadakiss had to make it about Roham, so it was tough.
There was an hour of negotiations before we even shot that video. So
my idea got shut down. It was too edgy.
I was.
The Hawks got 11 steals in this game. They got 4 blocks.
Thunder Hour, you go. What were you going to say, Thunder Hour?
Hey, no, I can wait my turn. I was just going to say, one thing that's cool about this moment is you get the chase down block, you get the block with the pin against the backboard, you get a block in the lane. I love all the variations of block, but that one where John Collins pins it up against the glass, that's a block. That's you know how exactly. You know how on offense a guy will make a shot against a smaller defender and they'll do the too small. To me, that's the too small right there. That's where you gotta, just shove it in their face. And pinning someone's ball against the glass, that's something I've been dreaming about for 38 years.
For sure.
It sounds like marriage to me. But
listen, here's another thing I just thought of that's underrated about this series, this set that's making me think about collecting it is that you get these team moments, and every NBA team is so different every year, right? And so this, you might have an affection for this squad, and it's completely different next year, and so this clamp moment means a lot more to you because you really like this makeup of your team. I think down the road that'll be an underestimated part of this. A little sneaky advantage of this set.
This moment, like I said, John Collins, he's no longer on the
that's Hawks.
Right. But I think he was kind of a fan favorite for some of them. I agree. He's been with their team for several years. I think he's now with the Jazz, right?
Yeah, he got a lot of energy, worked hard.
Talk about top shot moments. Some of his dunks on the platform.
I know it.
He's got some ones. That's an interesting thought, though, about kind of a time capsule idea of that you're putting that team together, similar to King Brett is collecting the video game numbers, and it gives the story of the full game of all these moments. We couldn't just pick one; we got to put them all in here. And you made the point, Thunder Hour, that same thing's happening here. You got a block by John Collins, but then you got DeJounte Murray and DeAndre Hunter making plays that you're like, well, we can't not have that too. Let's put a clamp set where we can have it all in one game and show a full domination on defense.
Yep.
I like it.
Dude, but still, like you brought up earlier, Thunder Hour, like there hasn't been a set really devoted to defense, right? Hustle and Show had some of that defensive characteristics in it and some of the aspects, but it's so cool just to see this aspect because everyone loves a good dunk, but the place goes nuts when someone just blocks that right on the backboard or, intercepts that ball pass and puts it up for an alley-oop on the other end. Like, it's just, there's something excited about seeing the defensive stuff. I hope it's a trend of what's still to come moving forward too.
Yeah, real quick, back to what Triticus said about, these squads, how they maybe mattered more to a fan base or to a team. Like, I think back to, we talked about it on a podcast, but S1 and the Thunder team in the bubble, that Chris Paul-led team was pretty special. Yeah. I mean, he had that 1 year in OKC, and he really left an imprint. I mean, he's loved here. And that was a season that really most fans might forget. Right. But like as Thunder fans, that was a special year because we again outperformed where most people thought we would be. I mean, most people when we got Chris Paul, they thought he was, it was kind of just passing through, which he kind of did, but he made an impact while he was here.
Yeah, nobody was expecting that type of year and for him to have that type of impact on the team, and you definitely noticed it, even not as an OKC fan.
Yeah, he sure did. Got to respect that.
Speaking of OKC, I think we might have another moment coming up.
We did save a Oklahoma City Thunder moment for an Oklahoma City Thunder co-captain, super fan, avid collector. We could just jump right into it because it's going to be on here for a minute. We got the Clamp Series 4 Oklahoma City Thunder moment. Let's check this out.
Here we go.
Let's go. Yeah.
It's a minute 7. There is some clips in here. Just take it, Thunder Hour.
Well, one thing about this moment is it kind of features some players that maybe aren't like the top end of our roster, And so that right here, we got a Poku steal and the behind the back finish. I mean, oh no, he didn't finish. All right. But that's kind of what Poku does. He does something that's fun and doesn't quite finish, but
you know what? Right, I know somebody just like that.
Easy, big fella. Easy.
We're talking about moments, right? So
yes.
Aaron Wiggins there with the block. It looked like he's kind of a fan favorite as well. One of those. Yeah, one of those guys that kind of just gets those hustle plays. He's kind of doing all the things around the edges, but he's not like a go-to scorer or whatever. But Wiggins is definitely, he's got a place on a team because he's not needy, but he does the cutting, he does the defensive plays, all those sort of things. But yeah, I mean. The one thing about this moment, it doesn't show Lou Dort, which we talked about earlier, which I'm sure he made an impact in this game, but he's not in this moment. So that was kind of maybe the one omission that I was hoping would make it onto the Clamps moment. But I think they shut the team down to under 100 points, right? If I remember right. You might have the details with you.
108-94.
94, yeah. So I believe I was actually at this game.
What?
Oh, yeah. Was this early on? I mean, you might be able to find a date for me.
October 25th.
Yeah. Early in the season, I was at this game, and really a game that I thought it'd be tough for them, and they kind of put it to them. And it makes sense that this was the Clamps moment for the Thunder.
Yeah.
So big time stats in this game. In the first moment we covered the Magic, they had 5 blocks. In the second moment we covered, the Hawks had 4. And in the description of this Oklahoma City Thunder moment, they call it a block party, which I always loved to say. I was never the one blocking shots, but I loved when my teammates did it. But there's 8 blocks in this game. Oklahoma City is just penning it. They're throwing it out of here. Even on a 3, Norman Powell getting rejected right there. 8 blocks in a game is pretty special. Clamps, if you will.
Yeah, and that's the thing about this Thunder team. They weren't really a shot blocking team. So this was one of those performances that was kind of unique in my mind. Kenrich with a block, Wiggins, like I said, with the block. Honestly, the Thunder are pretty undersized. So for them to get a bunch of blocks like that is pretty impressive. We played a lot of games with our center being 6'7" with Kenrich Williams. So
right,
it's
small ball.
It's more like, it's more small ball, but right place, right time. You see with that Poku steal again. I love that steal. I kind of forgot about.
That's really nice.
It's been a while since I've watched this moment. We got these, I believe, right around the New Year or something. It was earlier in the season, so it's been a while. Yeah, Kenrich there with that block. I'm not sure.
I know we talked about the.
That's nice.
We talked about the artwork, which is really cool with the purple and the clamps, but we haven't really talked about the eyes portion of it on the cube. I didn't think that I would like that at first, but it's really cool having all 5 faces that are people that are in the moment right there. Another time capsule type part to kind of show the whole team on the moment. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a little bit creepy, but it's also a little bit cool, I mean,
kind of like me.
Right? Yeah. I appreciate you saying that because
I know you didn't want to. It's just like Samuel D. Like, you got to let someone else bring it up, even though you're right.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the run. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, the other team moment from S4 was a fit check moment, and it kind of shows the jersey silhouette, or I guess it's actually the player, but you cannot see their head. So it's kind of interesting in the fact that they're kind of similar, but kind of celebrating different parts to those moments and those teams.
Really cool.
You did mention fit check, and then it also occurred in this set where they had parallels, the diced, the bit, the coated, and those are in here to allow for more number 1 serials and more perfects and things like that. What did you think about that with this set? Anybody?
I love parallels. I mean, I know it's kind of a controversial thing or whatever. I don't know, but I think it's fun. I think like it just adds another element to the moments, and they're just unique art. Like I pulled the J-Dub coated number 1 recently, and to me, I probably wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't have had a chance at a number 1 probably, but I was in the coated top 20 or 35, and got a chance to get that moment. And like the explosions and the base set are fun. I'm really into parallels. I think it just adds another dimension to the product that we haven't experienced before.
Yeah,
more inclusion.
I don't mind them either. Yeah, I don't mind them either. I think it's just whatever however you want to collect those. I mean,
that's the thing. I think people overthink them. To me, it's just fun. It's not something to really think about more than, hey, that looks cool. That's kind of my thought.
Yeah, I remember a Treat saying that he didn't really care about them, but he kind of liked the way rippled look and started just getting rippled ones, and I think that's kind of what you're describing is just pick one and go with it. Then you have some people that are speculating that you're going to need one of each, in S5 to be able to do some sort of trade in or burn. And again, if you're just a collector like you, Jared, or us, me and Brett, where you just want to have everything of that player, then you're just going to end up getting it anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of just fun. I did it earlier in the year. I may revisit it, but it's kind of fun to just have one of each, even though it's the same moment. Like, when you're talking commons, especially, it's like you're talking a few dollars here and there. Just makes it a little more fun.
Yeah, it does. I was going to do that. I was looking at doing one of each, but I think I just kind of finally landed on just an explosion of each.
That's exactly where I landed.
I've
burned the rest for trade tickets, and I just stick with the explosions. That's the ones that, I mean, those are to me the best artwork in the base set. Really, the best artwork I like for any of them is the explosions. So that's where I went.
I think they were really slept on for a while there, and I don't think people were noticing them. And then they've definitely picked up in the past few months.
They've exploded, if you will. Yeah, but I'm in the same shot. Like I was, when it first came out, I was like, oh man, I don't know that I like this. And then I also started realizing the artwork I did like better than even some of the original moment artwork. But also as a collector, there's typically only one number one. And if you don't draw, you don't get in a pack, you're most likely not getting it unless your bags are real deep. And now all of a sudden there's an opportunity to have a number one rippled or an explosion or even the base set, because it's freed up people that may only collect the base or collecting that. And then you have a lot better opportunity to collect that jersey, that perfect serial, that number one that you've always wanted and never really had an opportunity to get. So
cool. Very cool.
Very cool. Well, this is a new set, fellas. Cool. I love talking about them and watching the moments, reading the descriptions and kind of digging deeper into them. I guess I'd love to know, we may have already said it, but like what's something, Series 4 is obviously fire. We're loving the direction things are going with the content curation. So when we're watching these three moments today, the Magic, the Hawks, and the Thunder, what's one thing that, you picked up on that you noticed that you really like, that the direction we're going with in the moments? Treaticus, what do you got first?
Yeah, man. One of the things you mentioned this, a couple of you mentioned it. The thing I like about this is that you do have the defensive stuff, but there's a lot of they finish the play, right? It is almost, it's a hustle and show team set, really. Like the Thunder one we just watched especially had several of those plays that started off with a block or steal, and then we got to see him finish at the other end, which I really like that, because I finish what I start. If I get started, I will finish.
Okay. So, King Brett, what do you got? What did you notice, buddy?
Well, I mean, for some reason, I want to go and bet on Oklahoma and take the odds for Vegas after watching that team reel.
Yes.
Man, what a defensive performance. It just – I know what, Thunder Hour, you already put the bet down?
That's where the smart money's at. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
We're going to surprise some people.
I know. It's just it's so cool to see the aspect and to see all the different players. I'm a big fan of. It's cool to have an awesome play, an awesome moment, and it captures it. But I just think that the clamps, it's got the before the steal, it has the steal, and it has the finish. It has before the block, and the finish. Like, it just encompasses everything you've wanted moments to be so far. And then not only that, on the defensive aspect, because that's the fun part for me playing ball. Is I never really played ball, but pickups, whatever. I was always a physical guy. Like, I'm a big guy. You're not running through me. In fact, bring it. I'd like you to try. But it's fun to see this in the blocks, and it's just super cool. So I'm excited about checking out all the other teams, and obviously the Mavs are going to be the absolute best, but Oklahoma is solid number 2 right now. So that's all I'm saying.
Quick question along those lines. Do you feel like this gives them some of the options that we've talked about, like even some of the guys that don't get a lot of playing time, like King Brett? It gives them an option to get them in a moment without them having their own specific moment. And the more levers like that they can pull, the more they bring us in as a fan base, because I do know my teams, I do know those guys that are not getting any playing time, right? So being able to see them in a moment is pretty freaking cool.
I see Thunder Hour's brain like working. He's like, wait, is there any top shot debuts of a player that doesn't have a moment, but they're in clamps? I have to buy them all immediately.
Yeah, so the Thunder have a guy by the name of Lindy Waters, who's kind of a fan favorite, for OKC. You guys might not even know who he is, but if he could make it into a moment, this way, that would be fun. I mean, I'm still waiting for his debut, but I'd be okay with him making it into one of these moments.
Yeah, that's cool.
So,
that's a great point.
Yeah,
that's a great point. We noticed that in the Hustlin' show that they were sneaking players in that maybe didn't deserve a moment, and that's a great point in this, that you could get a full squad in of a tip pass that was somebody that isn't necessarily the most important player, maybe more of a fan favorite, like Thunder Hour just said.
Yeah, that's right. I think they should.
I'll go with a couple things I liked, and then I'll ask you, Thunder Hour, to wrap us up. But in this set, I mean, I'll be nerdy and say that I really thought the art, and I think that's really cool on the actual visual of it. I think the eyes, even though a little creepy, I think it's a really cool aspect to have all the guys' faces on there.
Yeah.
And just to have all 30 teams represented, I know we have certain captains louder than others that they want representation of their teams and whatnot. What a cool thing to have all 30 squads included. And like Treat just mentioned that I hadn't even thought about the whole episode is to include players. That's a really cool point. Thunder Hour, what'd you think? I know you're biased because you got a great Thunder moment in there, but what'd you think about the set so far with these 3 moments?
No, I love the fact that like these moments are team reels. Like we talked about this earlier. The reels fit perfectly in the team with the teams. Because like a reel of a player, I think it fits good in VGN, the video game numbers, because they just go off. But the reel fits almost better highlighting the full team. And this kind of just showed us today that you can have a moment that's special that just highlights everybody in that specific game. And in that moment, guys like Poku with that steal, that moment would never be a real a moment otherwise, because he didn't finish like we talked about. He got a steal, didn't finish. It's not as fun.
But the big dude going behind the back is insanely awesome. So like you're so spot on. It deserves a blip. It deserves a cameo.
Yep, and then Muscala finished it up for him, and that's kind of where what we saw with all of these moments today was the whole squad, a bunch of blocks, a bunch of steals, shutting teams down to 30 points and a half, all those sort of things that make for a performance, but maybe didn't make a traditional way to get into the product. And that's why I own the whole set. I like this set. Like I have my little display on my desk. It's one of those things where I could put all 30 clamps, and that's kind of a fun day, a fun, unique little, display reel for what I want to, I don't know, just switch it up. The dunks, the highlights, the best players, they're fun, but this is a unique set in the fact that it highlights the whole team.
Yeah. Love it.
It's great stuff.
Which has been a big focus of what we talked about earlier in the week in the CNC podcast, as well as today. And, just the connecting part of it is so huge. We're hanging out, we're talking ball, talking moments, talking about what set you're collecting and what are grails to you. And then we end up cheering for each other's teams, looking at moments that each other are getting and getting those too. This is just, I'm having a blast. I appreciate you being here, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Collectin and Connectin is what it's about, and this has been a lot of fun. So thanks for having me on.
Enjoyed it. It's a good time.
You almost make me want to shave my beard. You look so beautiful on there. We love having you on, man. I'm just saying.
Hey, well, you caught me out shortly after I shaved. This ain't every day, so I had to clean up for the podcast.
That's a lot for King Brad. He's always got the beard on. I don't see him without it.
Being clean shaven makes getting the excess queso that falls off a lot easier to scoop up. It's hard when it's all in your beard and it hardens, and not James Harden, but the queso harden. And yeah,
also a beard reference. There's our queso allotment for the day, and we're at episode 17, a moment by moment, first one of series 4 clamps. Thank you, Jared, for being here. Thunder Hour, you're the best. King Brett, Treaticus, love you guys.
Enjoyed it
all the way, man.
Clamp it.
All right.
Yes, sir. Let's do